Hi, welcome to another video. My name is Hannah. I'm a beauty and fashion photographer living and working in Los Angeles. Today, I'm going to be walking you through my website, how I lay it out to make it easy to navigate for clients, and how I went about creating it. It's so important to have a website, as often clients want to see all of your, for example, beauty work in one place. Also, it looks more professional when advertising agencies present you to brands and gives people higher res versions of your images to make mood boards from if they are pitching you for a campaign. This is my homepage, so this is the first thing people see when they go on my website. I like to have an overview of all of my work in one place so that people can see my aesthetic from a quick glance and don't need to go through every single page to get the gist of my work. Then moving on to my still life section, this is something that I have been doing a lot of during quarantine, as obviously no shoots have been happening. So I've been spending a lot of time doing still life, using natural light, using studio light, trying to get really creative with beauty products. And luckily I have a lot of brand contacts in place, so the transition from shooting models to shooting still life went relatively easy. This is my beauty page. This is the main one of my pages. And as you can see here, once you click on an image, you can see it larger and then you can kind of scroll through like a slideshow. It's really important to me how this was laid out because this is, my main chunk of work comes from beauty. So I've had it in a situation where it kind of looks color coordinated, and I've got, for example, the blues moving into the purples, moving into more violet shades, and then moving into yellows and golds, into greens, and into pinks. But I think it was really important for me to do it this way because I have so much work and I didn't want to have it so on the grid you would just click on a shoot that you thought was interesting, because there's some shoots that I have, 15 photos that I love, and then there's some shoots that I just have one image that I love. So I think it was really important for me to be able to showcase all of my favorite images while scrolling, but still have it in a cohesive way, in a way that didn't look too chaotic. And I've got the black and white at the bottom because normally black and white isn't that important for beauty, but I absolutely love those shots and I wouldn't feel right if my beauty section didn't have them, which is why I included them. Onto my women's section, and I do shoot a lot for clothing brands, but just nowhere near as often as beauty, which is why this one is second down. As I mentioned, still life I've only really been pushing since quarantine. And I tried to make this page look really nicely laid out just by spreading black and white between the colored images, because I just wanted everything to look aesthetically pleasing and I didn't want to have colors that clash too close to each other. And I think that's really important when laying out your website, especially as a photographer. You have to sort of showcase that you do have an eye for color and for layouts. And often it's, one of the things that draws brands towards you when they can just tell that you have an eye to be able to see what's going to work in the shot and what isn't, and what might lay out well on their website and what may not. So I think it's important to try and have work in that order. And I don't necessarily have all the new things that I shoot on the top. I try and spread it out, and I try and just make it work. Here is my advertising page. So this is slightly different from the other pages. As you can see, I've kind of split up the jobs with some white cubes. I'm still not entirely pleased with this page. I need to figure out potentially a new way of doing it. But as you can see here, these are all campaigns that I've shot, in the last year or so. And I think often with campaigns, you don't have as much control over the color palette. You know, they're all incredible color palettes within themselves, but they might not necessarily work with your certain aesthetics. So this is why I've just tried to break them up a bit from being all held together, because I just didn't feel like it flowed without the gaps in between. But I still need to find a new way to do that page. This is my music and celebrity page. And as you can see here, it's possible for you to caption, you know, each of the images, because I know that's something that people want to have, a bit more information about the image. And again, just some overview here. I think there's actually a couple of images that are in here that I need to remove because they're not actually musicians, so I need to, oops. But I make this website with Format. Obviously I'm not sponsored, I wish I was, but Format I just found the easiest to use. I know there's loads of platforms out there, but you know, I was looking at getting websites done and I was getting quoted hundreds and hundreds of pounds and I just couldn't afford it. And I think with this it's like £9 a month. This is my swim section. Swim is something that I do a lot of as well over the years. And for example, this shoot was incredible. This was actually in Morocco for an editorial. But oh wow, it was just the most phenomenal experience. This was actually on my balcony in London, believe it or not, on a sunny day a couple of years ago. And we just set up a big Colorama seamless and it looked amazing. And then here we have my contact section. So at the top I like to put my email address, my Instagram, and then I put like a quarantine note on there to say that I am shooting still life throughout quarantine and I am focusing on that. And then underneath I put publications, advertising, and also it's really important to have your email address typed out, not only on your Instagram, but also on your website. So many people have clicked this link. No, I don't want to be clicking a link. I need to copy and paste it into my Gmail. It's, you know, it's 2020, you need to get on with that. And then at the bottom, I've put a bit about me and a couple of photos of me just so that people can kind of see that I'm a person. I know it's kind of irrelevant because my work is the most important thing, but I think it's important to bring a bit of personality to it and just sort of show what you are about, because otherwise, if you're too much of a blank canvas, people might, you know, feel like there's no connection between the both of you. And I feel like it's important to just, even if it's a behind the scenes picture, a blurry picture, obviously in this picture I'm holding a cocktail, so that might not be the best message, but I think it's just really important to be able to have that out there in the world. And also, you know, to write a piece about yourself. For example, in the piece I've written about myself, I just write a bit about like how I became a photographer and also the sorts of things I'm passionate about in life and my photography and the sort of things that I stand for. So, you know, it can be important just to have that nice personal touch. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful. My website obviously isn't perfect and there's still more that I obviously need to do and need to work on. I should probably cut my beauty section down a bit, but I've had so many websites over the years, and now that I've got this one, I feel happier about it than I have any other website in the past, and I wish I'd implemented some of the things that I have here years and years ago. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you have any thoughts on anything you'd want to see a video about, let me know and I will do a video on it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.